What is up, my witches? Welcome to another stream. So, it'll be a little bit different of a stream today, as you can tell by the title. I'm not sure if I'll have time to get into some games. I'm not gonna be going back to sleep. I told you guys I was gonna get full sleep. I did go to sleep as soon as I got home, but I woke up like midnight and I wasn't even able to go back to sleep till like 4. Part of that was because of, I don't know, I don't know if it was because of the dream I had, or it like made me mentally exhausted, or because of, partially also because my neighbors were like up at like 2 in the morning. I started like kind of doom scrolling on the internet, and yeah, like I tried to get back to sleep like around 2, and then I could just hear my neighbors downstairs like opening drawers and shit. I don't even know what they were doing, dude. They were like opening drawers and stuff. So it's so weird at like 2 in the fucking morning. Maybe they were getting for work, ready for work. I don't know who needs to get up at 2 in the morning to get ready for work. That's tough. But yeah. So want to talk about it for a little bit because I tried to go back to sleep, couldn't go back to sleep because of those reasons, and then eventually got tired again at like 4 in the morning, and then went actually back to sleep till about 5 minutes ago, 8 minutes ago. Sheesh. I am kind of shooketh. So first things first, obviously I'm gonna go ahead and do a tarot card reading. I already went ahead and shuffled this right now as we were talking. We've got 3 of Wands, 10 of Wands, and 10 of Cups. I think the 10 cards are pretty good. Go ahead and see. I haven't drawn any of these cards actually before. I'm seriously, literally just waking up. Hold on, should I could have chat open at least. Let me get pop out chat real quick. I'll just close that, throw this over here, and there you go. Awesome. So 3 of Cups. I'll just get right into it because I'm gonna be chatting a lot right now anyways. I just had a cup of water, but I guess my throat is still a little bit dry. The meaning behind the 3 of Cups represents a period of happiness. You'll be able to forget the worries of your daily life and spend quality time with family and friends. To see the 3 of Cups can indicate a happy reunion with a long-lost friend, relative, or loved one. It can also mean a celebration, whether it is your own or for someone you love. The event can be a birthday, wedding, or any other happy occasion in general. It is about spending quality time with people you cherish in your life. Okay, interesting. The 3 maidens represents your circle of friends. Oh wait, I think this is totally wrong. What am I doing? It's not 3 of Cups, it's 3 of Wands. Apparently I have drawn 3 of Wands before. Probably not for me, probably for somebody else's tarot reading. So, the meaning of the 3 of Wands hints that you are planning or going to plan for the future with more conviction. This could mean that everything around your plans is going smoothly as you have taken the time to plan your future and are taking steps to turn plans into action. Hints that you are perhaps creating a stable foundation for yourself. The symbolism within the 3 of Wands is that opportunities can take place to widen your horizons in many areas. It is also a warning to keep your mind open as better opportunities can open up to you. As you take steps towards achieving what you set out to do, you are also becoming more aware of opportunities that are coming your way. And this could be This says this could be take you out of your comfort zone, which is just a typo. This pushes you to something. Sometimes embrace change and just start thinking in the long term. Okay. The Three of Wands can show that you are in control and have a strong position, just like the character that overlooks and stands strong. The Three of Wands is one of the main cards of foresight and vision. The last Three of Wands meaning is that to travel in search of what you are seeking, there's a sense of leaving home, a voyage that must be undertaken. Great things do not happen to those that simply wait for them. You must expand for most readings. This shows that you may travel to new land over the water and that you may find an opportunity during your travels. Or upright love meaning talks about the next stage in relationship, a romantic momentum, and creating a lasting foundation. For upright career, this talks about new horizons in career, expanding your career options. For upright finances, it talks about expanding views about finances and expanding financial goals. Cool. I look forward to seeing what the future brings. Obviously, I'm a very planned person. I like to plan out just even my regular day-to-day stuff. I wasn't able to get what I wanted to get done today simply because of like waking up at such a weird time. Moving on to the next one. We have the Ten of Wands. But first, let me go show off the card. You guys can probably already see it anyways. I think I got pretty good lighting for you guys right now. You can see he's kind of like standing on a rock, just overlooking and holding onto the wand. So for Ten of Wands, what the heck was that? Ten of Wands? For Ten of Wands, this card shows that you have already completed the circle of struggle. After spending too many resources and lots of energy looking for success, you have finally overcome the obstacles. The sweat off your brow was worth it. Your efforts have finally been rewarded. You may find yourself living in a world of abundance where poverty and suffering have no chance to intervene. Although it sounds marvelous and satisfying, the card predicts a lot of responsibilities on your side. You are now the sole problem solver in your circle of family and friends, which could even propel you into another world of challenges. At this point, you are flooded with responsibilities to maintain your success. The business that you have started are flourishing and keeping you on your toes. The main problem is that these issues could overwhelm you if you lose control, which requires you to make sure that you know how to prioritize and solve the relevant ones. In the real world, this card expresses how people try to burden themselves with responsibilities after they attain initial success. It is like graduating from college, getting a job, and then starting to make it in the real world. More challenges keep coming. You may find yourself looking after your parents, starting a family, and at the same time look to others, which may make you feel as though you are not yet successful. It becomes a burden because at some point you find out nothing is enough to accomplish all these duties. And the general lesson of the card is that people should be moderate, prioritize, and understand that they cannot solve everything. Some things must be let go and given to others. The burden shared. So, I mean, that's great advice right there at the end. Me personally, my efforts have been rewarded, honestly, because we're in the process of, I think, getting the apartment now. I'm gonna have to head out. I'm gonna have to head over that way and I think drop off the payment stubs because that's one of the things that they asked for. I also had to like set up a new email for my dad. They wanted an email from each of us. They wouldn't allow me to just put my email for both. So for upright love, it says heavy burden of love. Love creating responsibility and that stress creates issues in a relationship. For the career, being overworked, work burdens being carried alone, and needing help from colleagues. And for finances, it's a financial burden, large unavoidable expenses, and struggling daily. So I assume this one's mostly referring to the financial burden I'm going to be facing because we're nearing the end of the work season, and then I'm also going to have to make the initial payments on the apartment. I'm all good because, uh, you know, I'm normally pretty good even after having to spend money. I know how to balance my finances. I'm not gonna get into detail and like expose my finances or anything like that. Alright, and then Ten of Cups. Which is honestly just a really happy looking card. And it says, from its joyous depiction, we can assume that the Ten of Cups embodies happiness, joy, contentment, and emotional satisfaction in your family, relationships, or companion. It represents an idyllic state of comfort, harmony, peace, and love, which makes you feel like you are in paradise. This is where all your dreams, wants, needs, and wishes have been fulfilled, and you feel a complete sense of satisfaction. Take a moment and breathe, look around you, and be thankful for all your blessings. This card signifies something that so many of us are searching for. To see the Ten of Cups is to indicate a true emotional fulfillment, one where the lonely self-satisfaction of the Nine of Cups is shared with others to create a true sense of community and family. It is a crystallization of the innocent will of the Ace of Cups. After learning how to love oneself, the Nine of Cups matured into the Ten of Cups, which at its core is about how true happiness stems from forgoing authentic bonds and connections with others. Oh, forging. I thought it said foregoing. This card is most associated with a sense of happily ever after, of a family, of lasting harmony and peace. This is an indication of harmonious family, for the card shows you that you are living in the perfect peace. No more adjustments or shifting is needed. You're in the right. Just relax and enjoy your moment. In a love reading, this card shows that it is romantic, real, and genuine, and has a strong potential for something long term. It deserves all your effort to make it come true. Interesting, interesting. So far, okay, let me just keep going. So for the love meaning, it says commitment, taking the next step in a relationship, long-term stability, and lasting relationship. Feeling of belonging at work, camaraderie between colleagues, fulfilling and supportive job, and financial stability and security, and feeling of having enough. Which, I mean, I can relate to that because I am a pretty simple person. I don't need too much. But here we go, Ten of Cups. You got like the little kids right there playing in the corner. They're like at a homestead with the wife and husband joined by the hip, and like celebrating everything that they have. Truly a happily ever after moment, I guess. So I think this is more so, this reading in particular is more so telling a story instead of going into like the specific arcanas within my life recently. Because on one hand, it talks about planning for the next steps, and then the burden of success and having to share that burden with others, and then happily ever after. So I think it's asking me to prepare and plan for, you know, the near future, but be sure, you know, be careful not to overburden myself with responsibilities, and to, you know, rely on others. And if all goes well, then I should attain success and reach, you know, the full potential, and just achieve peace, right? So I believe that's what this, instead of, you know, speaking onto the specific arcanas in my life, more so just telling a little bit of a story of how I should traverse in the near future, I guess. So that's our tarot card reading for today. Pretty nice, pretty nice. Like that, like the feeling of being successful myself. Alright, I'm not sure how well this is gonna go, because I am like sleepy as hell. This is like fighting with me. Okay, there we go. Hold on. I don't wanna force the cards in. Okay. Bear with me here for a sec. I think I might actually go get a cup of water since I am gonna be talking right now. So, got all the stuff I need. Got some nail polish remover since they're still a little black. Got the cotton as well. Just go ahead and pull out a couple. Let's take like 3 out. I think I'm gonna need at least. Probably just 2, but why not just take out 3? So just getting into it. Me personally, I'm a pretty lucid dreamer. Like they're pretty vivid, and I tend to have pretty good control over what's going on in the dreams. I try not to do like too crazy stuff in my lucid dreams because I don't know. It's easier to just kind of base your dreams in like reality, as opposed to like having fantastical lucid dreams. Maybe it's different for different people, you know, like if you're like in your day-to-day life engrossed in like fantastical things, then it might be easier, or you might tend to have more of those type of lucid dreams, like unrealistic stuff going on. But me personally, I like to have my dreams like somewhat based in like reality. What is this? I think this is the one, right? Yeah. So these are like little, I got a bunch of colors, but these are the tubes. I think I talked about it already before. But these are for the stamp. And then the white is just for my nails. I don't know, I kinda wanna do like checkered nails, maybe just do like black and white, just keep it simple. But I also want to I do want to stamp one of these, you know, I do want to do one of these. It's been a while. Like the stamps are really nice. I think I might just do black and white, maybe just do checkered freaking nails today instead. Or I'm gonna put this back. But yeah, no, I've had a couple lucid dreams in the past that I still remember pretty well. Like one of them, I was in my hometown and I bought a coffee shop like at the corner, and it was actually a really nice coffee shop, and it ended up doing really well. I had another dream where I'm trying to remember. I was like at this apartment complex, and for some reason people were going around like attacking people, and so we kind of like banded together and fought back. And then I had another dream where like I was at a place with like a bunch of friends. I didn't recognize them from like real life, but apparently in my dream we were friends. And so we had like walked in somewhere, and then the place got surrounded by like people and police officers, and it turned out that some criminals were like staking out there, and they busted in through the back door because we were in there and it was empty, and we were like, okay, what the hell's going on? Where's the owner? And I don't know what happened to the owner, but some guys busted in through the back to where we were, and like the instant they saw us, they pulled out some guns and then just started going off. And I was lucky to react in time enough, because if I ever get like hurt, or like if something happens in the lucid dream that's like shocking enough, I tend to just like snap awake. And so, but I was lucky enough to be like by the edge of the room, and there was like a soda machine or something. So I don't know. It was like the world's strongest soda machine, because I just hid behind that thing, and you know, none of the bullets went through. And all the other guys, you know, they didn't make it. There wasn't really anything they could hide behind. There was like a counter, but it was like a wooden counter, so like all the bullets could just easily go through. And so yeah, so rip to those guys, rip to my dream friends that weren't, you know, they weren't real. But after the guys did that, right, they like walked forward for some reason. They just walked into the middle of the room, I guess because they were looking for stuff to steal. And when that happened, you know, they walked past me without looking like behind the, what do you call it, the soda machine or anything. And they were like talking to each other, like trying to figure out what the hell they had to do to get out of there, because the perimeter was already surrounded by police. The building had like windows for walls, like on two sides, and then it was like the side that I was on and the back door. And so you could see through the window like just all the people and the police officers there. Oh. And well, they like stepped up, and when they did that, I grabbed one of the guys. I don't remember if I had like, I think I like picked up some scissors or something that were like laying on the ground or something, and I like, you know, I took that guy out, hit him in the neck a couple times, and then took his gun, and I think shot two of them, because there was like four of them. So I took out two of them with the gun, and then the other one was running away, and for some reason I couldn't pull the trigger. I think it's because like I've never shot a gun in real life, so like my mind can't realistically portray how it would feel to shoot a gun, because every time I tried, because in the other dream where like we were getting attacked at our apartment, somebody handed me a gun, and I shot it a couple times, but it felt weird. It felt really weird to shoot it, because I was like, there's no way this is how like a gun feels to shoot. But I think it's because I've actually never shot one in real life before. But yeah, I think one of them actually ended up getting away, because like the trigger felt so heavy to pull, and so when I was pulling it like messed up my aim. But I was able to get two of them, and obviously the reason the other one was able to get away was because like it took so long. It actually, I was using one of the dude, I guess, that I killed as like a shield, and by the time I killed the second one, or shot the second one, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure they just like died in my dream, but he turned around and managed to get away, basically. And then I woke up. But those were like a while ago. I don't know, like over a month ago. And then recently, like the past 2 days, I've had pretty lucid dreams. I think I actually ran into like a different lucid dreamer in like the dreamscape, because the way I see it, the dreamscape is essentially like this other dimension within our minds, and potentially we could connect with other people through lucid dreaming, but they'd have to also be lucid dreamers, I think. Otherwise, you're just kind of along for the ride, right? But that was like an interesting interaction. It had a little back and forth interaction, and it with like mutual respect for each other. But I'll talk about that one real quick as well. Why not? Basically, damn, I spilled some on my hand. I don't think this stuff's dangerous, anyways. What was I saying? Okay, yeah. So like for some reason, I was at like Yggdrasil, which if you guys don't know what that is, that's the world tree. But I was there for some reason, and I was like at the core of the tree, not at the base of it, because you couldn't see the base. Like the entire, like as far as I could see, was like just covered in trees, like the top of trees, and then obviously at the center was the big tree. And then when that happened, somebody showed up, and they like pulled the tree away from me, to kind of to like take it away for some reason. And like as them and the core of the tree were like distancing themselves from me, I could imagine the branches like not moving. So I was kind of near, or like I could see the like the rim, I guess, of the tree. And so as the tree was like moving away, the branches were kind of like extending at the same time. So it was like even if he pulls the tree away, I can always just find the center, because all I have to do is realistically just follow the branches to the center, right, back to the core. And it was moving away like really fast, and the branches were like starting to get really long. And you know, obviously because I realized it was a dream, I was like, oh wait, I could just either make the tree appear or like get to the tree in an instant. So I took a step in the dream and then just was like instantly at the core of the tree. And this kind of took the other guy aback. He was like, oh, well, this guy knows what's going on, like. So I think what did he do? I think he like came up to me, right, and he was like inspecting me and stuff, like trying to figure out like what was going on. And I wasn't really bothered by him at all. Like I could tell he didn't really have bad intentions. He was kind of more just like a trickster. And so like as he did that, I think he realized that I was a lucid dreamer as well. Or I don't know if this was like a spirit or a person, dude, but I'm hoping it was like just another lucid dreamer. I'd like to believe that. But yeah, like we kind of like had a mutual understanding of like both of us having like pretty good control over like what's going on. And because I think it was like I don't even know, I guess I couldn't 100% say that was like my section of like the dreamscape. I'm not really sure how the dream, I guess it doesn't belong to anybody, right? Like if anything, I could have been the one to like infiltrate his mind or something. Hey, dude, this one's being like really difficult. But either way, we kind of like looked each other up and down a little bit. He was like some guy like fully clad in armor for some reason, like from head to toe. He had a helmet and everything, which I don't know if that was like his decision or if like that's just the way I visualized the guy. But yeah. Yeah, we look each other up and down, and we just kind of like shake each other's hands. And I was like, okay, cool, but I kind of want to do my own thing. Like, I'm not really interested in like, you know, hanging out or whatever. But like, cool, we're both either we're both lucid dreamers, or like we both understand that like we have control over like our dreams and whatnot. And so as we like were shaking hands or whatever, I imagined. Like if you've seen anime, you know, when like a character dies, there's like the ocean and then just the sky. And so I pictured that, and I pictured opening a door. And so as I pictured opening the door, I pictured him walking through the door. So like as I pulled, he pushed his door, but like it was two different doors. So I was at a blue door and he was at a red door. And so like as we were shaking hands, kind of, you know, like I just pictured that and just kind of transported both of us like not even near each other. Like he was somewhere else, I was somewhere else, and the door itself didn't lead to anything. It just was a door. Like you opened it, and you were still. It was still this like huge ocean, and then the sky. And I think the sky was like purplish as well, like kind of like the sun setting. And so we just kind of separated ways at that point because I was like, okay, this was like a weird interaction, but all right. Nice to meet you, and I'll be on my way. So I don't know if that guy was real or not, or if that was just part of my lucid dream, because I could picture him opening the door and like I could see him doing that stuff, but it could have just been like a made-up guy that like I was imagining doing all that stuff to me or with me or whatever in the dreamscape. But yeah, that was a little while ago, just a little back and forth. Who do you think how I want him? Do I want I think yeah, start black on the thumb and then just work my way up. It still looks kind of dirty, I guess, because the thing's already like super black, so it's not like doing that good of a job cleaning up. Try using the back part of it. But like I said, recently, the last 2 days, I had like lucid dreams, so I wanted to talk about those. I think it's important to talk about like lucid dreams because that's actually part of like how you get yourself to continue lucid dreaming or to like get into it. Because it trains your mind that these dreams are like important, and so you're more likely to have them. Sometimes I do go like a couple weeks or like even a month at a time without having lucid dreams, but yeah, I pretty consistently have them. So a couple nights ago, I actually opened myself up to some spirits to see what would happen. Oh, that was actually I'd rather not talk about that lucid dream because it's kind of adult rated. I can't really talk about it on YouTube. I don't think. Um, had some fun time in that dream, but like I said, I'm not gonna talk about it. It was weird as well too. So I don't know. I don't want you guys looking at me all weird. Like, dang, that's what this is dreaming about. Like I was lucid in that dream. Like sometimes I'm lucid in my dream, but I'll just go with the flow, you know. So we're not gonna talk about that one. But a couple nights ago, but that dream did happen on the night that I like opened myself up to like communicating with spirits. I basically invited spirits like into my mind in order to like communicate or whatever if they wanted. Obviously, I set up rules and boundaries to prevent any like bad spirits from wanting to invade or like take over. Because when you open yourself up to spirits, you potentially open yourself up to like possessions and stuff. So you got to be careful. But the way with communicating with spirits is that if you set rules beforehand, I mean, you could set rules even like in the middle of the in the middle of communicating with them and everything. They pretty much have to follow them. So it's not too risky, honestly. Communicating with spirits as long as you know what you're doing. Especially because it's just communication. It's not like I'm telling them to take over my body or anything. But I ended communications, and I guess one of them stuck around because they've been kind of tormenting my mind a little bit in my dreams, and I guess that started like about 4 days ago. I think one night I ended up just having a decent night without anything happening, but then the last 2 nights, I had lucid dreams as well, which were kind of weird. trying to remember the one. Okay, so the one from 2 nights ago, I was like at a bonfire with like a group of friends that I, again didn't recognize. Pretty nice house. We were all like just drinking, having a good time, and I ended up getting pretty intoxicated in the dream. And we had to go like pick up some friends. So we did that. We left in like 3 different cars. I don't remember picking them up. I just remember arriving back at the place. So like you can see the house, and we ended up parking up on the side of the street. And because I was kind of tipsy, I couldn't park properly. Like it took me so long to park up on the side. I was over here like looking around, like trying to like here, like the curb's right here, and I'm over here like trying to like on my right side, and I'm over here like I'm too drunk for this. But I was just going very slow and being like very careful because I think it was kind of like a parallel park too. Like we came in like the first car obviously went in, and then I was behind him, and then the white car was behind me, and so I was kind of taking my time, just like, dang dude, I don't know what's going on, but I don't want to scratch the car and I don't want to hit the car, so I had to be like a little bit careful. And then obviously eventually I got out of the car and I was like super crooked, like this is the curb and the car was like this. Or hold on, wait, was it? This looks weird. It's like mirrored on the screen, I think. Well, this is my right hand, right? So it was on my right side basically, and the car was like crooked. I didn't get any like flack for it. They were just kind of in their own conversations and didn't really say anything about that. But everybody went inside, and then a couple of my I think I actually had to go pick up another guy. So one of the friends actually hopped in the car with me, and we ended up driving to pick them up. For some reason, when we went to go pick them up, they had like a pickup truck, like not like a delivery truck for some reason, and then we ended up driving in that truck to get back. I don't even remember getting there or anything, but for some reason the way back was like super far, and we ended up going like around super long roads. We were having a great time, just normal. There was like one point I really remember where like we kind of went up the side of a mountain and the road was like really twisting and turning, and it was just like super awkward, especially for like this big old truck. And it was so weird. Like I don't know, I was like, who would design a freaking road like this to just go up and down and like come back around? But whatever, it's beyond me. That was like one of the points where like I realized that like, okay, yeah, this is obviously a dream. I felt lucid before in the dream, but I was also like, yeah, I guess when I was like parking the car, that's when it felt pretty lucid as well. So anyways, we're just like driving around, goofing off, we're all kind of just like intoxicated. And at one point, dude drives over a bridge, and he freaking drives off the bridge. But because the truck was so big and the water was actually pretty shallow, he was able to get out. And then for some reason, he drove back around and drove off the other side of the bridge. I don't know what the hell was going on at that point. It was just tomfoolery at that point. But we ended up ditching the truck. I guess we just decided, I guess he couldn't get it out that second time, and then we got in my car, which I don't even remember how that happened. I didn't really think much of it because technically, we were driving in a truck, so I shouldn't have had the car, but I guess I did. And then I think I let one of my friends drive it, and they ended up crashing it, dude. And this was like a one-of-a-kind car. And I was like, okay, I'm kind of upset, right? Because it's my car, and dude just crashed it, so we have to go get it fixed. And I actually remember buying that car too. Like in the dream, I had a memory, like kind of a flashback of like when I bought that car, and it was like outside of some factory or whatever. I still remember the kind of car it was too. It was like some prototype looking Cadillac. It was beautiful interior, like all black outside and everything. freaking fat wide body. Um, and for some reason it was on, the dude was, it like had a for sale sign and it was for like $16,000. So like, yeah, that was kind of a no-brain purchase. Just went ahead and got it. But so he crashed the car and we take it to go get fixed. And, you know, just kind of skip ahead to the point where like the car is fixed and the mechanic's telling us that it's fixed. One of my friends was like really nervous because he was like, okay, these guys are gonna, you know, the car was in pretty bad shape, so it was like, this is gonna be like super expensive. So he goes up and he talks to the mechanic first, and I'm not worried at all. Like, I'm over here talking to my one friend. He goes over and like talks to the mechanic real quick. He comes back with like a worried look on his face, and I was like, okay, so what's going on? Like, what's the damage? Like, I'm assuming it's gonna be a couple hundred or whatever, right? Maybe even like 1,000 or so. Because for some reason the area that we were in, everything was like at a much cheaper price. So I was like, okay, it's not gonna be that expensive, right? Because everything around here is actually pretty cheap. So he tells me that like, yeah, the guy's trying to scam us basically, is what he told us. And I was like, what do you mean the guy's trying to scam us? Like, he's a mechanic. I'm sure he just wants to get it fixed and, you know, move on with his life. You know, like didn't have any reason to distrust the guy. So I go up, but he's like, okay, yeah, no, but once you know the price, you'll know for a fact that this guy's trying to scam us. And I was like, okay, whatever, dude. Let me go talk to the guy. So I go talk to the guy. I ask him like, okay, what's the damage, right? Like, it's not gonna be too bad, is it? Dude looks me dead in the eye, and he's like, "Yeah, it's gonna be 15,000 for everything." And I was like, "Huh? 15,000 for like? I mean, where do you get that number from, sir? Like, just to inspect it should be like it's like 70 something dollars, no? Like just to look at it, and then I guess all the parts and the labor and everything. But like 15,000, huh?" And dude's like looking at me. He's like smirking. He's like very like devilish about like screwing me over. And I was like, okay, this dude's really trying to scam me. And I was like super upset. I was like, this fucking asshole, you know, like I love this car and everything. But I eventually gave in and I was like, okay, whatever. Like, because I knew it was a dream and everything. So I was like, there's no point in me like blowing up or anything. Like, this isn't real. The car's not real. Uh, just be glad that like me and my friends are alive. So I was like, okay, dude, you win, you win. We had like a little back and forth. I'm not gonna get too into it, but I was like, you win, dude. You fixed the car. You know, I should have had money. I don't have the money for that. So just keep the car. I don't care. And the dude like, he really just grinned at me like he freaking won or whatever. But like, I know it's a dream. It's not like it's a real freaking car. So whatever. I just walked back with my friends and whatever, and we ended up like sitting down for a little bit because we obviously didn't have any wheels anymore. We got into like a little bit of an argument about like the car and like the price and everything. Obviously, because the one friend that we were kind of arguing with, he was the one that crashed the car. But I just calmed down because I was like, you know, it's not a big deal. It's just a car, you know. That I technically got it for like a ridiculous deal when you think about it, because this was like a one of a kind car, and I got it for like $16,000. Even like a really nice Cadillac for like $16,000 is a pretty good deal. So I was like, whatever, dude. we're fine. We're alive. Like, let's just be happy that we're alive or whatever, and just hang out here and like drink some beers or whatever, and hang out. And then at that point is when I woke up. So all in all, it was a pretty good dream, you know. Kind of funny. And so that was like 2 nights ago. Now the dream from last night though was like pretty crazy. Hold on, sorry, this freaking nail right here right now being like a pain with the way that the freaking it's like smearing and stuff. Dang, dude, this white one went on thick, like right out the gate. I should have cleaned it up a little bit, I guess, before just like applying it. Yeah, the dream from last night is a much longer story. I ended up going to sleep like around 9 and then I woke up like midnight, so just kind of like give you a, what do you call it? Like an idea of how long I was sleeping for. The earliest I can remember in that dream was that I was like a rich kid for some reason, and what happened at that point actually? Some really weird stuff happened during that point. We were like outside, it was like winter. We were like at an academy, so it was like me and a bunch of other rich guys. Like, you know, youths, I guess. We were pretty young. I think I was like younger than I am at this point. I think I was like a teenager in that dream. And you know, there was like some bullies, obviously, some guys who were like super egotistical. And you know, I had my group of friends. I had like 2 friends, I think, at that point, that we just kind of were like, during break, we would like chat and whatnot and like get into stuff. I could tell we were rich because the academy we were in had like these really intricate outfits. I don't know if like what kind of academy it was. Maybe it was like a training academy for like, and I don't know, knights, or I don't know, dude. There's something weird. Like it like something like we were like, okay, we're definitely like in an academy, like training or whatever for something, right? Like this is not a normal like school, right? Especially because we had like, I think we had like an instructor, like we were all lined up and we had an instructor. I forget what he was talking about, but that's when I like was like, okay, we're definitely like in training for something. The way this dude is like talking to us felt like he gave like drill instructor vibes. And I don't know how we got this information, but apparently like there was like a mystery going on at the academy at that point, where like one of the females had gone missing. One of the girls at the school had gone missing, and so like I think she was part of our friend group, and so we were kind of like determined to figure out what happened to her. You know, like why did she go missing? Like obviously something happened to her. And I think the academy just wanted to sweep it under the rug, right? Because they couldn't figure it out. It would like take a lot of resources to figure out, and so they didn't want to get caught up in anything. So they were just kind of trying to sweep it under the rug, so that it didn't ruin their reputation and whatnot. So I kind of knew at that point that it was like up to us to figure out what happened to her. And like as we were discussing the like the main bully, I guess, of that class, he like came up to us and he said some stuff. I forget I don't remember what he said, but he was very weird. He was like very suspicious. We were like, why is this guy even bothering with us? Like, on one hand, it could just be like he's just trying to bully us or whatever. On the other hand, I felt like, okay, maybe he's a suspect. But that part passed pretty quickly. Like, after that dream, we like went to another dream, I guess, if that makes sense. I don't know why I'm doing that. I'm gonna need these in a sec. Anyways, and in this other dream, I wasn't in the studio anymore. I was like just hanging out with some other friends, and we were going back to my old house. Oh no, we were actually okay. So we went from that dream to like being at an arcade, like a Chuck E. Cheese, People's Choice type of place, or like a Dave and Buster's, with like my sister was there and a couple friends. So we were having a good time, and then after a while, we decided to just head back to my place. I think to like watch some movies. But we get to our house, or like it was my old house in the dream. We get there, put on some movies, and we're hanging out. And you know, when we get there, my sister actually just decides to leave with like some other friends. And the movie that we were watching was actually like my first initial portion of the dream, where like some kids were at this academy and they were wearing the exact same uniforms that we were wearing, and pretty much the same stuff that like I went through in the initial part of the dream was happening on the screen. And so I was like, whoa, this is really weird. Like I was just there, and now it's like just a movie. Um, and I think one of them had like watched it before. I think he like recommended it or something. And yeah, it was just kind of weird. It was just kind of like a weird feeling at that point. And what else happened? Dang, it's 10:52 already. I've been streaming for 52 minutes, just yapping. Holy. But after that, I went upstairs to like my old room. It was my brother's room actually. But at one point we did share the room. I like never had my own room until I moved out. Um, I guess because I was the youngest, so it was just like easier to, you know, just put me with somebody else. Ugh, sorry, just yawning. But yeah, I was in that room and I was like cleaning up. I was like moving stuff around, and then I laid down for some reason. And in that dream, I ended up falling asleep, like taking a nap. So at that point, I kind of forgot that I was in a dream. Like it was kind of like an inception, because like in that other dream within the dream, um, I had like a premonition of like my like we were downstairs. Like okay, it's weird. So like in the dream within the dream, I was still in the same house, but it was nighttime at that point. And when we arrived there, there was still light out, and it was like late in the dream within the dream. I'll just call it the second layer. Um, and like the door was locked because we usually do lock the door whenever we're just like at night chilling at the house. And my sister was like outside because we have some windows by the living room, and she was like tapping on the window with like a knife, and she was like super psycho or something. I don't think she was alone either. She was like with her friends or whatever. And I think that shocked me or whatever, like seeing her. And so I woke up from that second layer, but I could tell I was like asleep for a little bit, like I took a nap. And so I go downstairs and I tell them about the dream as they're watching the movie. And they look at me and they're like, "Oh, you're not part of the murder gang?" And I was like, "What the hell are you guys talking about? Like, are you guys talking about like being in a gang that murders people, or what the hell? Is this like a joke?" And they pull out their phones and they're like showing me these texts between like them and my sister about like them joking about killing people and stuff. And I was like, "Okay, this is really weird." But no, I'm not part of this, you know, murder gang. I'm not getting any freaking texts from my sister or anybody about that kind of stuff. And so I told them, I was like, yeah, this isn't like, this isn't that. I just dreamt that this was going to happen. So either I had a premonition in the second layer, or for some reason it connects. Like, it made no sense because I was like, okay, why would she be joking about that with you guys? Like, that's not really something to joke about, but yeah, I don't know. People are weird. Yeah, they're still a little bit tacky. The white ones are especially are definitely like still pretty tacky, so I gotta be careful. But I mean, after that, she never showed up. Like, she didn't show up again in the dream or anything like that, so I guess it was just like all in my mind. Or I think the dream just ended too quickly. Because at one point, my like aunt and my dad showed up. I guess they were like in another room or something. And if you know my aunt, you know when we have people over or like just randomly, she'll just start like cleaning around. So she was like took out a bucket and a mop and everything and just started cleaning. And then my dad was there as well, kind of helping her out. But he had like this machine that you like stand on and it like cleans the floors. And so I was like, okay, you know, let me not think too much of it. And to get my mind off of like that, I decided to go do some dishes, like help out. And like as I'm doing the dishes, for some reason my dad comes up to me. He's like, "Son, I'm going to buy you a motorcycle for your birthday." I guess my birthday was coming up in the dream, and I was like, "Okay, like you don't have to, I guess, but like, are you sure? Like a motorcycle is kind of expensive." And he was like, "No, no, 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 son. You deserve it. You know, we've almost never gotten you anything for your birthday. We've like never done anything for you on your birthday. I want to do this one nice thing for you. You know, just for the one time." To make up for everything. And I was like, okay, cool then. I know exactly what kind of bike I wanted to get, which is like it's just a cafe cruiser. I don't know like make and model or anything like that. Like I'm not into motorcycles like that, but cafe cruisers are pretty nice bikes. They're kind of like my go-to if I ever did have a motorcycle, because they'd be nice to like get around the city in. So he leaves to go buy the bike, right? But he leaves on the machine that I was talking to him about like the one that cleans the floor with. It has like it's a kind of like a little mini street sweeper that like you can ride on. And he like left the kitchen out the back of the house, and I was just like, okay, that was like super weird. Like I was like, how is he even gonna get that thing out of there? Isn't there like some stairs to the to actually exit out of the house? But I didn't think too much of it, and I think at that point I ended up just waking up, or something happened. I don't know what happened, but like I think everything started feeling like very eerie at that point. Like I got a really bad feeling. Like the fact that my friends were like all nonchalant, like they didn't even care about like what I said. They just continued watching the movie. I was like, well, at any point, you know, like my sister could technically still happen. Like she could show up with like a bunch of people and like get into the house and just like murder all of us. So I was kind of nervous, and then I went back upstairs to the room because I guess I was like cleaning up or whatever, and I don't remember what happened. I think something bad happened. I can't remember exactly what happened. I think like a demon appeared in the dream at that point. and like I was trapped in the room with the demon because he was like guarding the door to get out of the room, and he didn't talk to me or anything. He just kind of like stared at me, was just like looking at me, and I started getting like cold sweats, and the room started like getting really dark. But like we were both on opposite sides of the room, and I think I was being tricked because I kind of forgot that that layer that I was in was a dream. Because when I know I'm lucid dreaming, like I'm not worried about anything because I'm completely in control. But because in the lucid dream I had fallen asleep, I took that nap and I went into the second layer. I didn't realize that that first layer was still a dream. So I was like kind of weakened, I guess, because I was like tricked into believing that I wasn't in a dream anymore. I was tricked into believing that like that was my reality. And so like seeing this like demon pop up, I was like, okay, what the hell is going on? Like, and then I woke up, like it like actually woke up, and I was like, okay, crap. I'm here in my apartment, like awake in my bed, and I'm like, wait, my mom sold that house like a while ago. Why am I still thinking about it? Like, why did I think that that was reality, right? Like that I was still living there or whatever. It was just like a really strange feeling after waking up. But yeah, those were like my two most recent ones. And that one was from last night, literally, the one that I just talked to you about. And so it's kind of hard for me to get back to sleep because I was like kind of shooken. I was like, okay, first of all, I got tricked, you know, so I lost control, and that's never a good thing. I feel like in lucid dreaming, because everything still felt vivid and it felt so real. But when you don't have control, you know, it's kind of a scary feeling. So I ended up just kind of getting some water and just kind of chilling online for a little bit, just watching videos to kind of get my mind off it a little bit. Then, like I said, I tried to go back to sleep after like an hour or 2 hours of just kind of like being on the internet, watching videos or whatever. And when I tried to go back to sleep, my neighbor was like they weren't being loud, but like I couldn't not hear the like the rolling of the drawers and like stuff like that, so just kept me awake. I still don't know what the hell that demon wanted, but I feel like it definitely had a hand in like tricking me into believing that it was real. Because I don't even remember being when I was like in the room. I don't remember being tired, and then for some reason I just took a nap, and that's obviously what tricked me into thinking, you know, uh, that first layer was real. And the thing is even when I'm like lucid dreaming, you know, the sensations still feel very real. Even though the way I react, like I'm never too worried, but obviously it feels real. Like that's the whole point of lucid dreaming is that it feels real. So there are some things that like are out of my control in the dreamscape still. But like in complete control of like how I react to it, and so I'm never like too worried about it. But in that situation, I was pretty worried, mainly because I did forget that I was in the dreamscape, and like I said, it all felt like very, very real. I was also watching like some Terry Joe videos. You know who Terry Joe is? She's like this TikToker who just like talks smack about people, like plays this character. Super funny. Um, so that kind of made it hard to go back to sleep as well. Cause I was just cracking up, dude. I was busting out laughing. I'm gonna have to clean this up. I gotta be careful because obviously I already have freaking nails or paint on one of my nails, so just using the nail polish remover is like risky, very risky business. I could just use like a nail filer. I end up using like a nail filer to just kind of like, because this is gel, so it comes off a little bit easier. But when it does set in, it's pretty good. It's pretty thick, so you don't have to do like too many layers compared to like other nail polish. But I think they've come out pretty nice so far, like with the color, black and white. Looking good. But yeah, after that, it was weird because I was like, why is this like spirit or whatever that it was like trapped in my mind? You know, because like when I opened up communications a couple night ago, you know, I set up rules and stuff, but I also ended communications as well. You know, so I don't know why it decided to stick around, but last night I finally decided to just like release it. I was like, okay, this is your chance to exit my mind. I'm opening a one-way path out of my mind if you've been there, you know. And after I did that, you know, I felt like just this weight being lifted. I felt like, well, not this weight being lifted. I felt like my mind uh, kind of clearing, and it felt like I was more at ease in my mind. And so I felt like whatever it was that was like in my mind for some reason decided to stay around even though I asked it to leave last time. Um, you know, wanted to leave, and I guess it needed like my permission to leave. So I think it was like upset at me or something for not releasing it for like a couple nights. And that's probably why it was like tricking me, and like it was just like very angry at me. Probably why it kept me trapped in the room as well, to like kind of show me like, look, I'm trapped. Like, so after that, you know, I was actually able to just go to sleep pretty easily. Like I could tell it wasn't a bad spirit. I think it was just upset because it was like inside of my mind for so long. Like it was just tired, you know. just sick of my shit. It was like, all right, I'm done with you, bro. Let me leave. But it's like, okay, you're not even supposed to be here. Like I literally ended communications like on the same night that I opened it. So like the fact that you're still here is kind of your fault. But I guess it needed my help, like leaving or whatever. So I guess I helped it. I just decided to leave. Bro, this white one is so annoying to work with, I'm not gonna lie. It like dries really fast and it like smears. I'm not a fan. Gotta get all up in there smelling them fumes. I'm like the Sharpie kid. You know, the kid that just grabs the freaking marker and just sticks it up his nose, just. Oh yeah, that's that good stuff. But I guess we're done. Just gotta let this dry pretty much and then just clean it up while I'm at work or whatever. Or before I head out. Yeah. Like I could have some I could do some pretty crazy stuff in my dreams. Because when I'm like lucid dreaming, I obviously know that I'm dreaming and I have a pretty active imagination. So yeah, but I mean recently those have been like the big ones. It's also just interesting that I've had 2 lucid dreams back to back like that, like 2 nights in a row. Well, actually, almost 3 nights actually, because obviously the first night that I opened communications, um, yeah, I felt like that's when the spirit came in to my dreamscape. It was just weird. There was actually like a couple of spirits in that one, right? Oh, there was actually another dream that I had actually. No, so I did have a dream like 4 nights in a row. I actually forgot that one. Again, I'm not gonna talk about it. Actually, was it 3 nights ago? I think it might have been like 4 or 5 nights ago when I opened up communications, and then like that night I had a lucid dream, and then like maybe 2 nights after that I had another one with like one of the spirits that like stayed behind or whatever. But at that point I didn't realize that like the spirit stayed behind. But I could definitely tell that it was like one of the spirits from the first night that I opened up communications. And it was a really weird dream. But they might have been like in my psyche since I had opened up communications, and they might have just been like unhappy with me or whatever. And that might have been what led to the third lucid dream, if not for sure the fourth one, where like they were upset at me and like they were just like kind of just done with me. They were like ready to leave. So I was like, okay, in order to like not risk this like entity or whatever, or the spirit, which I believe was just like a regular spirit. I don't think it was like malevolent by nature, but yeah, it was like just I was like, in order to not make it any more angrier, I'll just release it, you know. We had a good thing going for a little bit though, and then it just kind of devolved. I'll probably end stream soon. I'm just waiting for this stuff to like dry up. Okay, that feels good. Okay, that feels really good. Awesome. So this hand's completely dry. This one, tiny bit tacky, but not too bad. Obviously, I put a decent amount right there. Ugh. Okay, let me just fix that up real quick. Bruh, I just messed it up. This white one's so hard to work with, man. Seriously. And I don't want to like. It looks like it's got like a freaking layer of like ugh. It's so bad. But it dries so quickly, dude. You gotta be like so freaking quick with it. Like it doesn't even run off the brush. Some right there. Come on, just a drop. Work with me. They did not want to work with me. Whatever, just leave it. Just let it. You win. I'm damn near getting lightheaded from like talking so much and inhaling all these fumes. Alright, not gonna touch this one. I'm gonna go ahead and end stream here, guys. Thanks for coming by, hearing me yap for a good hour. And yeah, Necro signing out.